Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And we find ourselves today back in the basement working on the sink. Yes, I'm very excited about this. You guys just saw earlier that quick time lapse of me laying out the tape and making lines, and we're ready to cut a hole in this. This channel should be called Cutting Holes in Expensive Things, because for the past, like, I don't know, of the 20 videos, the past 18 or 15 has to do with cutting holes inside cabinets that are like $1,000, and now we're cutting a hole in this top that was about $1,000. But yeah, we're gonna be cutting a hole in something very expensive. So let me show you a close-up on the sink that we're putting in here, at least the size. The pencil line is the actual outline of where the top flange is going to end, and then the black marker line is where we're going to be cutting to, you know, to fit the sink in. And we're going to be using a couple of tools. Number one is a jigsaw to get close to these corners and make those lines straight. The other one is the multi-tool. We're going to be using the multi-tool, and to get those straight lines, we're going to be using an angle iron. We're going to be putting this right here like so, just like that, and we're going to be cutting it along the line like this, just to get those straight lines. You know what I'm saying? And then we are going to, oh wait, let me show you how I'm going to keep this in place. I'm going to be using some screws drilling straight down to hold this right where it is. We're also going to be using the circular saw for the easy lines, which is this one here and this one on this side. I think this one we're going to be using the angle iron, and maybe over here we're going to be using the jigsaw. But yeah, we do have, just so you guys can see, let me see if you can see, yeah, right there, from that black line to that line of the cabinet where it ends, we have 2 inches all the way around. So I'm pretty sure we clear this, the 2 inches here, especially here and on this side, because this is 3 inches off, and it's 2 inches in the metal down there. So we're gonna clear it. So we shouldn't have a problem with using a wood blade on all the tools. And you might be looking at this, which is a router. Why would we need a router to cut a hole here? And that is to give a, you know, a bull nose on the edge. We're just gonna run it across, because as you guys can see on the sink right here, it's not 100%. Actually, now that I look at it, it is pretty 90 degree. But we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna put a bull nose all the way around just to give it that clearance. There's no need for this to fit perfect where it doesn't move, because we are going to be using this clear silicone right here to keep it in its place. I might be, because I think this is cosmetic. I don't really think this is, you know, to hold things in place. And well, we'll see. So I might just use that. I'm gonna use that to keep it in place, and yeah, that's it. That is the sink. I'm gonna show you that after, because we do have to drill a hole. If you guys see right around there, we have to drill a hole for that in the back in this area for the faucet, and a hole over here in this area for the soap dispenser, because I gotta wash these hands. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm really excited about doing this too. I'm scared, obviously, and you guys have seen me scared when I was making these holes here, because you know, recently I found out that you could buy these cabinet doors separately. If you contact them over the phone, you can order it and they'll send you new ones. But at the time, I thought if I mess these holes up, I have to get a brand new cabinet. But yeah, I'm very confident about this. I'm not scared to do this hole, but I'm very excited that we're here doing this. So let's set up this camera. I got all the tools ready with their blades. I have the vacuum ready because I want to make as minimal dust. That's why I protected this, and that's why I haven't hung anything, because the sawdust is going to be flying like crazy, and I want to keep the dust to a minimum. So yeah, so let's get this done. So I literally just finished cutting the hole. And we're gonna do this live where we just drop it in. Oh, it's very tight. It's very, very tight. That's what happens when you make things so perfect. But it's looking good. Let me see if I got the middle right. This is 24, so it's supposed to be 12. I'm off by about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm gonna take 1/8 of an inch off on this side and I'll push this over. Let's do that now. It doesn't have to be perfect. What I mean by that is it could be bigger as long as the flange covers it and we can move it around. It doesn't have to be perfect. So if you want to make everything 1/8 of an inch overall, you can, and you just, you have that play to move things around. But me, I like to give myself more of a headache. So I make things as tight as possible and make more work for myself. Okay, so now I have to cut the outside over here. But we're looking really good. That's a piece of metal. We caught a little bit on this side. There you go. With no play. Let's see how accurate this is. It's about 1/8 of an inch off. So I'm gonna cut a little more over here. Let's see what happens. All right, that's a wrap. I'm gonna clean this up and go over what I did. All right, we have gotten the sink 100% in. This is not in yet because I'll show you what we're gonna be doing in the next video. But we got the sink 100% in. All we had to use was the circular saw and the jigsaw to do this work. Because of this sharp edge, I did not need to use the router. And I know I said earlier that I'm gonna do it anyway.
there's really no need for me to make a bigger mess. So I just kept it the way it is. But if you do have a round edge here, you can use a router with a bull nose, I think it's called. I know in the stone world they call it bull nose, but it might be something else. Maybe like a quarter round cut. I don't know. The router bit is one of those things. But yeah, so we have this permanently installed. This is how you find the middle. Right here we are 14 inches. Then the middle of the sink is 12. And right at the edge is 14. So we're at 14 there. And in the back, we are at 14. So we're looking good. I haven't glued this in place because I want to get the faucet and the soap dispenser first. I would hate to make this hole perfect and then when I get the faucet it doesn't fit and then I have to do stuff from the bottom. So I'm just gonna wait to get those two things in this week and save it for the next video. As you guys can see too, this line does not line up with the middle, but it does line up with the middle of the cabinet. And that's all that matters. I like that this is offset too, because it gives me more space over here to play with and to hang tools like that. So I'm really impressed with this sink top. It costs about 200 bucks and it's like a 16 gauge or 18 gauge. It's very heavy duty. I got it from Amazon and I was hesitating to get it, but it's really heavy duty and it's really good. I also was nervous about getting this is 10 inches thick or 9 inches. This is 9 inches, I think. And I was nervous because it was gonna be taking a lot of space in this lower cabinet, and I just want to maximize my space. But having this to be 1 3/4 inches and then this here is not too much of a problem. Let me see how many inches it really is. We're at about 4 1/4, so it's only intruding 4 1/4 inch, so that's perfect. So yeah, so highly recommend the sink and I highly recommend this work. If you have a spot that is tight, like I was saying earlier, because I did not use the router, but if you have an area that's tight that you can get the circular saw, let's say against the wall, the oscillating multi-tool with a right angle piece of steel is the way to go to make that cut go straight. And if you have a steady hand, you don't need the right angle piece of steel, so just keep that in mind too. So on the next video, we are going to be making the hose for the faucet and the soap dispenser. We're gonna have to take this off again, find the middle, make the hole, and then put it back and make sure that the faucet and the soap dispenser fits. If that goes all smooth, we are also going to be running the P-trap to put this in place, which is there. And I'm going to be doing something different as far as the water lines. I have these nice chrome pieces, as you guys can see. We're going to be doing a 90-degree so that we could make as much space in here as possible. We're also going to be running this that way. So it's going to be doing a 90 here, then straight down here into the P-trap. So we're going to be maximizing the space. That's the goal, to make as much space down here as possible. Also in a future video, I want to install the shelf that goes here, but we have to cut it up and modify it heavily to make the P-trap fit and everything. So stay tuned for that. So the sink went in smooth. And in the next video, we are going to finally finalize this whole area. And I'm also gonna be able to hang stuff on this wall without having to worry. Also, have some good news. I have gotten the door and most of the hardware, still waiting on a couple of things. So as soon as we finish the sink and this is in place, we can start installing the door upstairs and bringing the upstairs door down here so we can finally keep my stuff safe. So if you learned something new, you can show me by giving me a like. Any comments or questions, leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to see the rest of this basement done, this door go in, consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.